All right, here we are. Sorry about the delay. I honestly don't know why there was a delay, but we are here. We've made it. I also apologize for this sneak peek of my extremely messy room. Let's just cover it all. Welcome to The Floor is Yours. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri Woi Wurrung people and the Wurrung people of the Kulin Nation. I'd like to acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded and pay my respect and gratitude towards those who put a lot of intention into their way of living and learning and creating and loving, because that energy passes through generations. And while we don't really embody directly those values, I think that living on land that is so rich with that history can allow us to maybe embody those a bit better. So that's what we do at Vibe Union. We are all about self-expression, spreading love and positivity, openness and transparency. So welcome. Oh, and I cut out for a second, but that's okay. I'm back again. We have a huge night, and I kind of want to get things rolling. Why am I cutting in and out? Okay, I think I know what's going on. There we go. I just needed a little bit of light, bit of mood lighting to set the tone. So yes, this is The Floor is Yours, where we invite all of you to come down and share your expression and sharing the vibes. We've got a beautiful community and a huge lineup tonight. So without further ado, we will get started on our first expressor. So I believe that this is the first time this person has graced our stages. So I'd like to welcome to The Floor is Yours, Lisa Walker. Lisa, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I am okay. Good
Excellent.
evening. Happy to be here.
Beautiful. Excellent. Well, I'm going to allow you to take that away. I will slip away.
Alrighty. So, it's 3:30 at my house. A.M., that is. Coming to you from right outside of Washington, D.C., USA. And this is the second song I ever made up. I wrote this. Second song I ever wrote. Hope you enjoy it. You don't know what you do to me. You don't know all the things I see in you. You'll never know, no. You'll never know what you've given me. You'll never know all the things that made me smile. For you thank you. Long to see you in the morning light, loving me. Want to hold you by the fireside, where it used to be. I You don't know what you do to me. You don't know all the things I see in you. Oh, oh, oh. You'll never know, no. So, you just never know.
That was beautiful, Lisa.
Well, thank
I
you.
gotta say, you like I was watching you and I could feel that you were so in the song and in the music. And I just want to ask, what does it feel like to you when you sing?
Well, that depends, but it's like going somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really hard to describe because I, I, I'm not here. I'm there.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. It's almost like not a regular experience you have as a human. So you
yeah, it's
can't articulate it in that way, but it feels deeply spiritual in a sense, something almost energetic. Yeah.
yes. And one thing I know, I can't think. Whenever I think, no, I
Yeah.
cannot think and perform.
Wow. I
I don't know
love
if
that.
others
It's
experience
beautiful.
that, but
That's beautiful. I mean, I think a few people can probably relate to that in different ways. So thank you so much for sharing your expression.
well, thank you. That's it. I can't think. It's all feeling. There you go.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
We will. No worries.
Be
Please come back
well.
again. Awesome. That was vibey as hell. I really dug that. So our next expression artist has, slowly made their way into the cracks of VU and now embedded themselves and become part of the fabrics of who we are. I would like to introduce to the virtual stage Rye Wood.
Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm Rye.
Hey,
Coming out of Carolina to Melbourne way. Can y'all hear me okay?
you're perfect. You're
Cool.
great.
There's no feedback echo because like I can hear you, but it's coming out of my speakers over there.
No, that's perfect. You're doing good.
All right, cool. Well, I got this all queued up,
Perfect.
and
I will dip on out.
we will go ahead and get this going. So, all right. Let's just make sure. So, I wrote this one tonight, y'all. It came on like a light bulb. I'm a flashbang, get 'em blinded by the light. I'll never lose sight. I'll keep my rhymes tight. I'm a well-oiled machine, cause I turn that key right. Boom, and I don't need to modulate, cause I'm coming in to fight. Cause when I hook with a left, I run up on the right. Never moderate, I'm a socialist. Biting, cracking heads was the heading up to Flinders Strait. Better never get me famous, cause I'll be up there arming my neighbors. I want 'em rock Kalishnikov and pointing them at Rittenhouse players. The judges and jurors will drag 'em through the sewers and cap 'em in the neck, watch 'em crying for their Fuhrer. Each cop fewer makes the world run smoother. Coming out of Holly Hill and I'm rocking the Melbourne fervor. Rocking, I've been staying, reckon I've been styling just to make you all, take you all further, cause we deserve a little bit of purge, y'all. I used to feel a bit guilty about privilege. It took a minute working, how can this be leveraged? The truth is we're all human and equal. The fact is your taxes value property over people. As a white cunt, I could get drunk and burn down the cop shop. I go to jail and sell the movie rights and pay the bill and then walk. Cousin George ever tried to shit and murder him, his neighbors and dogs. And you mightn't even know the man, say for protests up at town hall. Now, the Carolina queen who taught the king was the legend of Bayou Rustin. He gave with Gandhi's graces all of their tactics for disruption. He preached about those peaceful ways to bring together your people. But every now and then, Pulp Fiction, I reckon we get medieval. Now, I'm that faggot making tactics from that book of Marsha P. I pay no mind to cops on our blocks and we kick them off of our street. If we get caught, I got a thought. We pull a play from Billy Billy Chick. Say that shit got misinterpreted and I'll go about my day real quick. Cause we resisting, we anti-fascists, we grab our bags and bricks, we smiting capitalists. All my friends are Dorothy, we could be storming Oz. So here's some bars to get you off your ass. It's time we maybe string up some billionaires, disrupt the power and maybe take what's theirs. Cause it's ours. They never earned it, stole that lot, they don't deserve it. That's why we gotta GoFundMe as the #1 health plan in the US of A. Everywhere I go, these pigs are fucking around and they'll be attacking the poor. They find out when life loses value. Here's how you create it. Burn that shit down. The system is due for maintenance. Where'd you think we get the word for firewall? Just like any parasite, you gotta burn it off. Gaddafi said we could arrest the press, and I reckon don't stop there, Fez. Give them each and every one of these fascists constant fucking electric shit. They don't deserve that shit on the radio. They never play this there. I'll be banned from entry. They'll say I'm too radical, yeah. If I find these songs, and if they find these songs before I manage to push them, they'll have to lock me up onto Christmas Island. And that's all I got for tonight, y'all. I've had a very, it's been a rough day, man. I came out of dance class today and there was like a whole fucking army outside there making their march down the street, and that's just fucking frustrating, you know. But you know, these are the times we live in. You gotta make do with what you do, I reckon. So, you know, we gotta hold together and do what needs to get done someday. But it's an artistic expression. I don't care if people vibe with it or not. That's just kind of the mood I've been in today. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed it.
Thank you for that. Do you feel like you channel some of the energy that you've been experiencing today into your performance?
Oh god, man, like yeah, like today, like I wrote that this morning, and the sample I pulled was this Jewish rapper Old Droog, who I love. And you know, so like I was listening to that this morning. He dropped the single, I think, like 3 days ago, and so I grabbed that sample and I was like, I love this. And yeah, so like for me, if I've had a bad day, I just gotta kind of do something with that, you know. So after I have I take a breakdancing class up at O2 with local breaker flying Michael Foxy, and so and after class, just that combined with the news this morning from Rittenhouse, that was just like, whew, that's just some angry energy, you know. And I got to do something with that. I can't just you can't just sit on it, because that shit just festers, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it off of your chest, it's just gonna sit there and build up and get worse. You gotta have an outlet for that anger, for that aggression. Otherwise, you're gonna do something stupid you're gonna regret.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. Well, thank you for channeling your anger into creative expression, because you fucking nailed it and we all enjoyed it as
Yeah.
usual.
All right. Thanks. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you so much, Ryu.
Cheers.
All right. Yeah, I feel that energy. Probably not similar experiences in terms of literally the situations that we were in, but I definitely felt myself feeling, yeah, maybe overwhelmed at the prospect of having um, to host today, because I felt like I put a lot of expectation, like I have to be this person, quite bubbly and stuff, which usually comes pretty naturally for these live streams. But I think what people want is authentic expression. And that's what I really appreciate about Vibe Union, is that all the artists that come through and all the people that are really heavily involved, really, we kind of pride ourselves on being open to receive you as you are and for us to be as we are. And yeah, we just had a beautiful meeting yesterday with all the people involved, and connected and felt very understood and seen. So yeah, I just don't know why I shared that with you, but now you have that information. So our next creative expression artiste has not graced our stage yet, but I'm really looking forward to what she has to bring. So I'd like to welcome to the stage, and I hope I pronounce this correctly, Sayanti.
That's right.
I shouldn't have said that with an inflection. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I will leave you to the stage, and I will revisit you once you've completed your beautiful expression.
Sure. Thanks for having me. So I'm Sayanti. I'm in India at the moment, and I started writing my own song sometime last year, maybe August. So I'll be performing one of my originals. This one's called Not the Kind to Take Revenge. I came up with this for a themed songwriting challenge where the theme was revenge. So it's not really personal, and I wrote this with, undermining the principle that success is the best revenge. You don't necessarily have to get back at the other person physically or, harm them, but you could be successful yourself, and that's a good way of taking revenge. So here it is. Hope you like it. I'm a collaborator. You used to be so nice to me. We even dined together, and I could taste the insincerity that we were on our journey. I was introduced to trickery, tactics, treachery, but to me they're of no use. I'll get my retribution, and I'll show you how it's done. Show you how it's done. Oh no, I'm not the kind to take revenge, but if you wrong me, you'll sure be sorry. I'll crush you with my success. Thank you for the address. Oh no, not the kind. No, not the kind to take revenge. After you stab in the back, you make a run for your getaway cat of mine. But I see you coming, run at it. Now you step on the gas, but I won't be coming after you, so you don't have to plan. So often that you're already, I'll get my retribution, and I'll show you how it's done. Show you how it's done. Oh no, I'm not the kind to take revenge, but if you wrong me, you'll sure be sorry. I'll crush you with my success, thank you for the oppress. Oh no, not the kind, no, no, not the kind to take revenge. Smell the bad blood, gates, rivers, and blood, and blood, and blood. The fights can only be fought with guns. They aren't won. Oh no, I'm not the kind to take revenge, but if you wrong me, you'll sure be sorry. I'll crush you with my success, thank you for the oppress. Oh no, I'm not the kind to take revenge, but if you wrong me, you'll sure be sorry. I'll crush you with my success, thank you for the oppress. Oh no, not the kind, no, no, not the kind to take revenge. That's it.
Ooh, thank you so much. I have never bopped so hard to a song about not taking revenge on someone. Usually you're like kind of rocking out to like, yeah, I'm gonna get my revenge, screw you. But this made me bop around and I was like, oh, this is actually a really lovely song lyrically. Do you
Thank
feel
you.
like when you write, do you tend to embody things that you like don't align with, or do you usually write lyrics that align with your personal values and beliefs?
Okay, so when I started out, this was actually sort of a hate song. I was talking about, the general diss tracks that you hear. It's about going and harming them, slashing tires, trashing cars, and so on. So I started out like that, but that's not really me. Like, I would never do that myself. So I decided to actually stay true to my principles, but I also like, the really cool pop stuff that you can really dance to, like you mentioned, bopping. So I thought
Yes.
of putting both together. Like, you don't really generally see this, like, a
Yeah.
very moral principle along with a cool
Yeah.
poppy track, but I decided to do it.
You nailed it. Seriously. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming on today and, injecting that energy into this show. Because I personally, and I can't speak on behalf of the audience, but I feel like everyone will agree with me in saying I think we needed that energy boost. So really appreciate your presence today.
Thanks, glad to be here.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you for joining us. We will let you go, and I'm going to wait on Rye for confirmation right now as to who we will have on next. It's a bit of a mystery to me. Oh, and I apologize for the quality of. I'm gonna have to shine this light on my face. Welcome to this hot mic. This hot camera. Okay. All right. I hope this is okay, appropriate. My room is now getting darker, as you may or may not have noticed. The sun is dipping below the horizon, and as a result, the room is getting darker. And therefore, I need this extremely intense light shining directly on me. You didn't need that entire explanation, but I gave it to you anyway. Who knows? Maybe it was stalling. Anyway, I am so stoked to see this next person because this is the first time they are performing with us. So our next creative expression artiste named Harrison Hicks, is a writer based in the UK. And his book, Set in Stone and the Cyclops, too big a word for me, but I'm going to have a go at it. The Cyclops Invigilation. So those are two of the recent books that he's, his most recent book that he's released is called Behind the Window, and it was released last month. I'm very curious about all of this. Let's get Harrison Hickman on the line.
Good morning from the UK and good evening wherever you are. Can you hear me okay?
You're perfect.
Fantastic. Good. So it's the Cyclops Invigilation. You know, like an exam invigilator. And so they've got the two books here. They're available for all major online stores. However, I want to read a segment today from Behind the Window.
Beautiful.
And I will put the link to the book in the YouTube chat afterwards. And Behind the Window is a novel which follows the consequences of a single action over continents and generations. So I'm going to read a section which takes place in 2007. And it's August 2007, and it's the Edinburgh International Book Festival. And the main character, Peter McGough, is doing a performance at the Edinburgh Book Festival, having just released a book on artificial intelligence. Monday, the 20th of August, 2007. The festival was in full swing. Coloured streamers, dancing, drum beats, violins, singing choirs, food stalls, chip vans, stand-up comedians, circus acts, death-defying stunts filled the pavements of Princes Street. The rest, billowing onto North Bridge and butting its way into the Old Town, was a multicoloured, dimension-splitting rainbow of intrigue, mystery, true/false love, and desire. Petey pushed past a trio of demonstrators, thankfully not protesting against him, but against nuclear weapons, and took a right turn off Princes Street. He felt mildly exhausted and had a horrid knot in the pit of his stomach. Airline food, most probably. The bacon and eggs the plastic-faced stewardess had served him on the flight yesterday, due to depart at 8:30 but delayed to 10:30 due to mechanical issues. Also, they claimed. Not that it mattered to Petey. He wasn't late for anything. Actually, the only reason his publisher had organised the early flight was due to it being a little bit cheaper than the later ones. But he was here, about to do his first book festival, the Edinburgh International Book Festival. Had his agent said about it last week? You'll love it, Petey. This book festival is the expensive stuff. Well, he was about to find out the truth. He kept walking, the shoes really beginning to pinch. They were new, a birthday present from Nicola. All that inspecting of his shoes. He thought she was trying to make sure his hygiene was up to standards, her standards. His favourite present had been from his daughter, a gold-coloured chain for his reading glasses. Nicola had told him later that Mary had been making it in secret for a month, putting it together link by link. He put his hand to his chest, checking for the 50th time that his reading glasses case was still there, that it hadn't been stolen by some pickpocket with an agenda. Up ahead, he saw the large banner proclaiming for all the world to see, Edinburgh International Book Festival. My, looked a welcome sight, he thought, striding up the street, across perhaps the worst pedestrian junction he'd ever encountered, and through the entrance into the fairly grandiose lobby. Why the area was called Charlotte Square, he didn't know, but they should have renamed it Annoyance Square, given the level of traffic and noisy kids with balloons. He waited, back straight. According to his agent, he was supposed to be met by the bloke interviewing him, the writer, Donny Bell. Petey had never heard of him, but the man had apparently sold thousands of copies of his latest novel, The Clapping of Fate, in which a computer virus spreads throughout the world and a group of mismatched agents have to stop it. Some sort of crap like that anyway. After 5 minutes, carefully counting the seconds on his watch, he grew restless and approached one of the festival volunteers, a vacant-looking young woman, student type, with long brown hair. Her name badge read Olga. "Excuse me," he said. "I'm here for the event, AI Friend or Foe. It starts at 3 o'clock. "Have you got a ticket?" she asked in a thick Eastern European accent. "Excuse me? I'm afraid the event's sold out." No, I'm Peter McGough. I'm the guy being interviewed." "I'm sorry? I wrote a big paradox of the humanity of AI. Do you know it?" "Oh, yes, we have copies of it in our bookshop, if you'd like to purchase one." "Is there someone else I can speak to?" he asked, beginning to fume. He was already getting tired of her sad, bulging eyes failing to make contact with his. "I'm Peter McGough. I was supposed to meet Donny Bell here, right now." It's 1 o'clock. I'm scheduled to meet Donnie Bell right here, right now. Ah, yes. Recognition flashed across the girl's face. One moment, please. She signalled another woman over, a senior official by the looks of her. Face grim, too little makeup applied, summer flower top, fading blue jeans. Peter McGough, the woman asked. Yes, that would be me, he said, trying to keep his cool. I'm Jeanette, the festival director, she said. Donnie said to let you know that he'll be a little late. Why, is he writing? His attempt at making a joke didn't work. He'll be along in half an hour, maybe a little more. Why don't you go into the festival garden? There's coffee and food. If you fancy, there's beer or wine. Thank you. I'll let him know you're here. Thank you. He strode off, entering the garden in a daze. Well, it couldn't exactly be called a garden. A glorified outdoor cafe was a better description. He saw a small bar selling drinks, the barman of an unshaven lout, the only thing keeping him anchored to this world, the promise of a drink-fueled night in the near future. Petey ordered a half pint of ale and took a seat on the small plastic chair that faced Prince Albert repel on his horse. His mobile rang, grunting. He put down the plastic cup and answered. Thank you.
Oh, yes. We have never had anybody read a section of a story, and I didn't realize how much of a cliffhanger that would leave me on. Usually we have an entire piece and there's kind of the beginning, the middle, and the end. But in this, it's just like, oh, okay, I want more. And you can find more. There will be a link, as Harrison has mentioned. You're going to post a link, and we can try and get a link in the description as well. So please go and purchase that book if you want to know what happens next. Is there anything that you wanted to add to that, Harrison, before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll post the link in the YouTube chat.
Perfect.
And
for anybody who's interested.
Yeah, for anyone who's interested.
Awesome. Cool. And just before you go, really quickly, what was the inspiration for this journey that you've taken yourself on through writing this book?
Well, it's a bit of an interest. There's a piece by Ludovico Einaudi called "Behind the Window," and it's about the theme of the music is that you look out a window and you see something that catches your attention. And that was the inspiration behind this book, because the book begins with Peter McGough looking out the window, seeing something and making an impulsive decision. And I kept thinking, what if you looked out the window and you made a very dangerous decision when you saw something, and the consequences that follow? Oh,
wow. That's beautiful. And
so it spans from...
That sparked the idea, and then you kind of ran off with that in a fit of inspiration.
Yeah. So it spans from 1989 to 2051. Wow. And it shows the consequences of that action.
Oh, that's incredible. Wow. Thank you so much for coming through and sharing. Harrison.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. All right. So next up, we have somebody who has been on our stage, I believe. But my memory is shocking, and I can't I can recognize this name, but I can't put the face to it because I'm just bad at that. And I think the moment I see them, it's gonna click. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Michael Collins, everybody. Round of applause.
G'day.
Oh, no.
Thanks very much.
Have we had you on the stage before? The floor is yours.
No, this is all a novelty, and I was having trouble with the audio visual. So yeah, I made it.
Okay,
it fixed
perfect.
itself.
Well, I'm going to let you take it away, and I will.
Okay, thank you very much. I'd just like to say that I'm reading and living on the land of the Warramai, the Indigenous peoples of Port Stephens, New South Wales, Australia, and sovereignty was never ceded, and respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. This is called 13. And I worked in a psych unit, and it was an adolescent psych unit. 13, and far too young, totally undeserving. So much of what I see here is well above my pay rate, so very unnerving. In this place of walls and hallways, safety, the chief concern of concerned professionals. Locked doors. Patience we have here in abundance. Patience we need here in abundance. Quiet cutters, abandoned babes in the wood, extreme starvers, who, in rejecting their very being, threaten self-extinction. Reverse the damage with drugs. Well, you can try. Still, they have their arguments, and a truth which cannot, should not be denied. And you must not touch those who have not been touched enough or touched too much. No, you must not touch those who talk in monotone, those who wish to be left alone, those who are looking to say goodbye, those too traumatized to try. 13. Sedated from the start, looks into the mirror and sees only shards of glass. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that, Michael.
It's a pleasure.
Lot of really heavy themes in that piece, and I wonder whether writing kind of helps you personally work through things that you've experienced.
Yes, and I think that's why I do write, to get a picture, a clarity in my own mind about what I see.
Yeah.
And it helps me to remember, as if I need that help, but a poem will bring me back to that situation, and instantly, yeah. And that's why, yeah, it's a clarification, and it provides an understanding, a deeper understanding. I think when you write something down, it does that. It crystallizes events and emotions in your own mind. Yeah, for me.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're able to maybe like kind of experience different perspectives through your writing as well as you write about it, and maybe it starts to unfold in a different kind of way?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure about that. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can look at something from another perspective.
Right.
I think it's always going to be my own
For sure. Yeah.
perspective, my own viewpoint.
Mm.
Yeah, I try to make someone else's experience part of me. I try to recognize that part in me that has empathy to that person and that person's situation. But if something's happening outside my experience and I can't tap into that, I think I've got to leave it alone.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess it is your personal expression and something for you to, understand within yourself. So it makes sense that you'd only really explore, and you can only really explore what you personally experience in life. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
I think so too.
yeah, but okay. Well, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
sharing, Michael. I think, yeah, really important words for everyone to hear and reflect on.
And thank you for allowing this. It's really been great. I've been enjoying listening to it when I've got the audio visual working. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. Ah, okay. Wow. The thing I love about these shows is there are like these ebbs and flows, and there's nothing being implied in those words, ebbs and flows. Like it's just the energy kind of moves in a certain way, and you move with it. And it also feels quite natural and okay to have these moments of deeper contemplation or vulnerability that also seems maybe confronting. because that's, that's part of life. These live streams, I feel, are almost a reflection of our own individual day to days. So it's really lovely to have those ebbs and flows. So thank you so much, Michael, for bringing that energy. Next up, we have somebody who is new to the Floor is Your Stage. Got a lot of newcomers today, which is really exciting. And thank you all for joining and finding the vibe. You've come to the right place. So I'm very excited to introduce to the virtual stage. And I
Wait. Someone else.
Somebody else. That
It's
is
everyone's favorite poetry mama. It's bloody Beverly. Here we go.
Woo, Beverly.
Hello.
Hi, Bev. How you
Hello,
doing? Beautiful as
everyone.
always.
Welcome.
Welcome. I'm going to leave you to it, and I'm going to have a chat with you after you have blessed us with your words.
Beautiful. Can you see me?
You're perfect. I can hear you. Everything's good.
Very good. Thank you, Amutha. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Bonjour. Tonight, I am reading a poem from Banjo Patterson. He was one of Australia's famous poets, and he was born in 1864. So a few years ago, he lived in New South Wales, Narambia. And he wrote a famous poem called The Man from Snowy River. And the poem then became a film. And it's a fantastic film, and it's one of my favourites. So it's a really long film, a long poem, lots of verses. So I'm only going to read six verses. There was movement at the station as word passed around that the colt from Old Regret had got away and had joined the wild bush horses. He was worth £1,000. So all the cracks had gathered to the fray. All the tried and noted riders from the stations near and far had mustered at that homestead overnight. For the bushmen loved hard riding where the wild bush horses are, and the stock horse snuffs the battle with delight. There was Harrison, who made his pile when Pardon won the cup, the old man with his hair as white as snow. A few could ride beside him when his blood was fairly up. He would go wherever horse and man could go. And Clancy of the Overflow came down to lend a hand. No better horseman ever held the reins, for never horse could throw him while the saddle girths would stand. He learnt to ride droving on the plains. And one was there, a stripling on a small and weedy beast. He was something like a racehorse, undersized, with a touch of team or pony, 3 parts thoroughbred at least, and such as are by mountain horsemen prized. He was hard and tough and wiry, just the sort that won't say die. There was courage in his quick, impatient tread, and he bore the badge of gameness in his bright and fiery eye, and the proud and lofty carriage of his head. And the poem goes on to talk about how Clancy on the Overflow and the Man from Snowy River, they went off chasing the colt from Old Regret and the horses that had got away that day. And it talks about how they went over the mountains and through the streams and up and over the rocks until the horses got away. And then it goes on to talk about the Man from Snowy River. And he was right among the horses as they climbed the further hill, and the watchers on the mountain, standing mute, saw him ply the stock whip fiercely. He was right among them still, and he raced across the clearing in pursuit. Then they lost him for a moment, where 2 mountain gullies met. In the ranges, but a final glimpse reveals, on a dim and distant hillside, the wild horses' races yet, with the Man from Snowy River at their heels. And he ran them single-handed till their sides were white with foam. He followed like a bloodhound on their track, till they halted cowed and beaten. Then he turned their heads for home, and alone and unassisted brought them back. but his hard mountain pony, he could scarcely raise a trot. He was blood from hip to shoulder from the spur, but his pluck was still undaunted, and his courage fiery hot, for never yet was a mountain horse occur. And down from Kosciuszko, where the pine-clad ridges raise their torn and rugged battlements on high, where the air is as clear as crystal, and the white stars fairly blaze at midnight in the cold and frosty sky, and where around the overflow the reed beds sweep and sway to the breezes, and the rolling plains are wide. The man from Snowy River is a household word today, and the stockmen tell the story of his ride. It's a beautiful poem. Thank you, Amutha. That's lovely.
Bev. Did you write that, or were you reading a poem? Sorry, I missed the beginning. Was it
No,
a poem
it's a famous poem from Banjo Paterson.
Okay.
So Banjo Paterson is a famous poet from 1864. So he's well and truly dead, buried.
Yes.
He would have written this late 1880, I think. And the first verse is famous in a lot of movies. That there was, and often in the cricket and other things, lots of people quote there was movement at the station as word passed around. Right. You'll hear that lots. Like I use that at work, or I used to use it at work and other times. But there was movement at the station, for the word had passed around that the cult from regret had got away.
Nice.
It's a great. If you ever watch the film, The Man from Snowy River, it tells a lot about early Australia.
Okay.
It's a history lesson. It's a great film.
And what was the motivation or the inspiration to choose that for today? Was there a particular reason?
Well, I wondered what to read, but I love The Man from Snowy River. The film is a beautiful romantic story. And if you ever go to the mountains, if you ever go up near Mount Kosciuszko and the mountains of New South Wales, you're on top of the wilderness. You can see for miles. There's not a person in sight, and it's just you and the horse. And it's beautiful.
That sounds amazing. Thank you for painting that imagery. Thank you for bringing your general vibe to the show, Bev. It's always so lovely having your energy here.
Thank you, Amutha. It's gorgeous. I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Next up, we have something a bit different. We actually have a video submission by someone who was regularly participating in The Floor Is Yours while we had it on during the lockdowns. Very excited to get into it. So I'd like to introduce to the virtual stage, Aurora.
Ooh, sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them wanna use you. Some of them wanna get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them wanna be abused. Oh, sweet dreams are made of tears. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them, they wanna use you. Some of them your head up, move on, hold your head up, move along, keep your head up, move along. I said, sweet dreams made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Oh, my sweet, 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 sweet dreams. Oh, my sweet dreams, sweet dreams. Oh, sweet dreams are made of this.
Always such a grand voice, Aurora. Yeah, she never fails to kind of impress me with how much power she can just belt out of this frame, you know? It's like seeing a bird. You know, birds are tiny, but the way that they project sound is just like incredible. So let's keep this train bloody rolling, huh? Next up, we have an MC from the north of Melbourne. An interesting fact about this MC is that she has moved houses 6 times in the pandemic, which is what? Pray for her soul, she says. Her music style is a kind of Wu-Tang mixed with Aqua. So please welcome to the virtual stage, Tiger Bomb and Sue.
Hey, what's
Hi.
up? I'm
Hi,
so
how you
happy to be
doing?
here.
Yeah,
How are
it's a
you,
good
Alyssa?
time. I love the fact that you're looking a bit like Fairy Floss at the moment, pretty in pink.
Yeah, it's the aqua look, you know, as per bio.
Right.
Aqua. Oh, what's
Uh,
this? Look, do you remember in September when it was Liptember? Well, it
I didn't
was.
know.
And it was
Well, okay, there we go. I
it was
know.
to raise awareness for women's mental health. So there you go. I'm only 2 months late. And that's because I've got mental health issues.
There we go. So you're right
I'm
on
just
time,
kidding.
actually.
Don't we all, though? But this made me
Yeah.
very happy. Money went to a good cause.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I will let
So,
you take it away, and I
yeah.
will review with you once you've finished.
So I've moved, like I said, like this is the 6th move. So here we are, guys, in an empty room. So it's a good setup for some stuff. So this happened today as well. I had to do it myself for the first time. So I'm pretty happy with the result, and I'm wearing different earrings because on this side, this earring was too heavy. So I look weird. Anyway, welcome to my life. So I'm going to do this piece that I just had to set the record straight with Melbourne and the world that this is why I shaved my head. Okay, it's a big story. So buckle up, saddle in, saddle on. I don't know. Sorry, I was in a Western. I really use my imagination a lot to get through these current days, the pandemic, lockdowns, all that stuff. I just have a vivid imagination, and it's a happy place there. So use your imaginations while you hear me do this rap. It's called The Old Woman Who Lived in a Shoe, and it's about why I shaved my head. All right, let's do it. Some people be rapping for the hell of it. Here's me just rapping to stay relevant. Got my man, 5 kids, big plans. But most days I'm like scrubbing pots and pans. And yeah, I used to be a hip hop fan, part of that world like a magical land. Until I popped out a bunch more kids and honestly felt like flipping all my lids. They call me the old woman in the shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She probably thought of shaving her head too. Maybe trying to find some extra time, cause her morning routine probably made her wanna die. Just kidding. She probably wanted to get high. Not true, but I bet she walked around in her shoes saying, where is my mind? Like, I just got to the point where to function in society, I realized it had to be either me or the kids that were gonna look presentable on any given day. So shaving my head was probably me trying to find a way to save some time, because the morning mummy routine kind of made me want to die. Just kidding, but I do walk around in my house on the daily saying, where is my mind? Would you believe me if I said it never crossed my mind to get high? And when you have a shaved head, people want to know your story. Well, maybe I just did it for the glory. Truth, it was a lifelong dream to be free of the thing that made me want to scream. Cause in the end, it's only hair, yo. Does it really matter if it's there or no? One way that I could be free is to shed all the things that were stopping me from being me. Cause I didn't want to be that person screaming at the mirror cause my hairdos don't work. Plus, when I was younger, mates said that I could never shave my head cause I don't smile enough. And I took that pretty rough for like 20 years. Those words always seem to stop me abruptly. Until the day I had a balls to the wall, direction and focus. Headed full speed, put the pedal to the metal in my car to the hairdresser's seat. And then she thought that maybe I was getting treatment for an illness. Cause when I rocked up, tears were streaming down my cheek. Cause I just found out that my house got robbed, vandalized, graph on the walls, actual cock and balls. And for me, that really changed the meaning of the phrase balls to the wall. So I'm like, nah, I'm not getting treatment for an illness. I just really want to shave all my hair off. I'm just trying not to cry about balls to the wall. She looked at me very strange, like she couldn't handle that at all. But anyway, as if smiling is a factor for a head shave. Look, mate, I'll smile if I want to, otherwise maybe I just have the resting bitch face, even for the camera. Hey, most people be rapping to stay relevant. Here's me just rapping for the hell of it. I can't separate my life as a wannabe rapper from my life as a pretty crazy motherfucker, is what I tell myself. This is the interlude. I knew this would happen. My bars outweigh my beats. Most people be rapping to stay relevant. Well, here's me just rapping for the hell of it. I can't separate my life as a wannabe rapper from my life as a pretty crazy motherfucker, is what I tell myself. If I ever try and leave my dreams on the shelf. Cause I've been through the fire and come out alive. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. I ain't no liar. So I'll stand up and keep telling my truth, even if it's just in my imaginary hip-hop recording booth. Cause in my life I've seen trauma. I feel like I've been to the border between life and death. Yet I've still got breath, learned how to rewire my brain and stay at least a little bit sane. Some people be rapping for the hell of it. Well, here's me just rapping to stay relevant. Relevant? 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 I don't know what that dance was at the end. That's it. That's my spiel. Did my spiel, and that was my spiel. So if you want to know why I shaved my head, well, now you know.
I honestly, you like, I am always so thoroughly entertained listening to you speak because you are really unapologetically you, and and you keep it so entertaining. And yeah, that comes through in your raps as well. I was engaged the whole time. Like, usually you kind of nod off when you're hearing songs because you don't really get what's going on, but you're telling a story and it's like, I want to know what happens next.
Yay.
So thank you. That was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. I am.
And
It's actually a bit cold in the house now, so
I
beanie time.
feel that. I gotta
Thanks
say,
for putting on the whole show,
oh,
crew.
of course. I mean,
That
just
union. Sorry, it's from that
fine.
show Parks and Rec. It's like the brother and the sister, and I don't know why tonight. I just feel like she's like my spirit like person right now. Just I can sort of sing. Like she just. I want to be her. Can I be
Oh, I
her?
love it. I love the energy.
That'd be good.
I just have one question for you because
Yeah.
I think I'm relating to your situation, and especially after hearing that track. For me, like anytime I do anything with my hair, it's quite a spiritual process of like I've just overcome something, and I get rid of it.
Changes.
And I've noticed you tend to keep your hair short. And this time around, the full shave, like, was there some significance in something changing in you? Was there something you learned about yourself that you are comfortable sharing?
Yeah, well, like I'll be really honest, I actually got COVID and I've been like out of the public for like 6 weeks. So it all happened at the same time as moving house, the sixth time. And then I moved house, I picked up the keys, but all my stuff was in storage. So I didn't have a fridge for like a week or a washing machine. And I was isolating and I was getting groceries delivered from the government because like finances are tight and stuff. And I just have to tell this one like side story, okay?
Please.
So because I didn't have a washing machine, like I was running out of like underwear, guys, like legit. And the council lady called me because she was going to deliver some food, and I was like, "Hey, I don't have a washing machine. Like, I'm out of like underwear." And so she chucked in like a 2-pack of Bonds. And then from that moment, I just couldn't help but think how funny it was that I got like government issued panties. I'm sorry. And so like now I've decided that my rap name is Tiger Barb MC and my posse is like government issued panties. And they were my favorite color too, like and patterns. So they were like, pink with bright green like edges, and they were and floral. And I was just like, I really like feel like happy in this country that the council lady from Whittlesea Council just like gave me a couple of pairs of Bonds. So anyway, how does this relate to like shaving my head? So basically like before lockdown, last one in Melbourne, I signed with this talent agency and I was supposed to do a photo shoot. So then, of course, like right when I'm in isolation is when my photo shoot date was. So I just said, I'm waiting for a test. I might have COVID. So this whole time I've had sort of my own 6-week lockdown because that was the period of like where I came across someone and then they had it and I had it. So I isolated when the person close to me isolated before I even had COVID. But then when I did have COVID, I had to isolate again. So I don't know, the last 6 weeks are like honestly a blur to me, like just a total blur. Because I was also like couch surfing, like living my best gypsy life because I had a rental, I couldn't live there. I moved home with my parents, I couldn't live there. I moved in with my sister, I couldn't live there. And I was just floating around. It was just like, oh my goodness. And my hair just kept growing. So to shave it this time, I had to grab the clippers and do it myself. And it's because I'm out of ISO bitches. Sorry. There's no bitches around. Sorry, that's just my hip hop like world in my head. I hope no one's offended. So anyway, I shaved it because I'm out of ISO and I'm calling up the talent people in the city and be like, hey, I'm ready for my photo shoot because for that photo shoot, I need a shaved head in case like people want to book me for jobs, which I hope they do because I need a job, yo. I'm broke and jobless and carless, but I have a house. See, I'm so happy. See this room? Because it means a lot to me, this room. It's my room. Nothing in it, but it's cool. I live here. So, yeah, shaving it. I've had it shaved since December 2020, and I've kept it shaved. But this last 6-week period was like it's just like worse than bad hair. It's like you cannot go out without a beanie. It's spiking. Like, I mean, it's only short, but it's just doing it's got its own life on my head, and I just ain't nobody got time for that. So I wear a beanie a lot. But November, Melbourne, F you. Sorry, but we have the shittest weather.
Yes,
I'm disappointed. 37 summers here. or wait, is it 36 if I am 37? I always forget that newborn part where you're like 0. Do you know what I mean?
Do you still count from within the womb? Are you still
Yeah.
experiencing?
Okay. Well, then from back then, I don't know. I've seen a lot of no, not summers. What are we? Spring. But like this is actually today. The summer's out, and I was pacing my backyard, guys. This is big for me. This means I'm like on a slow path towards the torturous, arduous process of exercise. Like I don't like it much. But I was walking around on my phone. I was like, I may as well, if I'm on my phone, I may as well walk around. But it's because the sun was out. It's just like, oh, I don't know. Is that enough of a soapbox on
That was perfect.
sun?
Thank you for a very intricate explanation of that. And I think we can all take something away from that. I don't know what you guys are taking away from that, but I can take plenty away from that. So thank you so much.
Thanks everyone for hearing my song, and I hope like there was a couple of laughs, and as always, just thanks for providing this platform, because like for me, I did a few of these in the lockdown, and I just got nothing. I've got nothing because literally all my music stuff is at my parents' house, and it's been really hard to get it. And so, but my musical journey is always going on. I feel like without music, I would have like faded away this year. I've just I took a dive into music, and not really my own, but I've always got something up my sleeve. But Wu-Tang pretty much saved my life, I swear, because DJ Mathematics beats are so good that for the first 10 years of my listening to Wu-Tang, I could not hear their lyrics. I really couldn't, because I was so obsessed with the beat, and I'm in my own little dun. Like it's just like how does he do that? But then now this season has been like I'm suddenly hearing the lyrics for the first time, and Old Dirty Bastard is just like one creative motherfucker. Like I hear the lyrics now, and I'm like, how did I not focus on these? But literally so many times in my life, I was so exhausted. I was having to unpack and pack and unpack and pack. And I just put Wu-Tang on and just unpack with Wu-Tang. My favorite part was the neighbor across the street. My garage is up, and I'm literally I'm boogieing, okay? I'm just I'm getting down to Wu-Tang, and I turn around and my neighbor's just like, hi. I'm like, hey, yep, new neighbor. Just getting a groove on. And I just feel like dancing and singing, it just lifts the spirits. And I just would not have survived the kind of year I've had without music and dancing and creative expression and connecting with people, because the world is as it's never been before. I've never been 6 weeks in my life without friends. It was seriously hard. 6 weeks is a long time to only see one other person, and just, I don't know, you start to become a bit of a messenger and Instagram feed. It's a message on Instagram, I can reply to that, because you're just by yourself. But I don't know, I made it through. I got a fridge eventually after a week, and my washing machine, the hoses don't go under the cupboard, so I still don't have a washing machine.
Oh no. But you're getting there, it's all building up slowly.
There's always something, right? Circumstances life throw at you. You can't do nothing about it. You can only decide what your attitude's going to be, and realize that it's not your fault, and things will always happen. But you've got to use a combination of your mind, your brain, and everyone else around you. And it's all about love, baby, because you got to be in the love zone. If you feel alone and you feel like you don't have any love from anywhere, that's why people get proper isolated, inner isolated. So for me, I had to really reach out in these last weeks and tell people hey, I'm actually not doing too good. I need some talkies. Do you know I like to talk?
Well, look, we appreciate your presence here and your story. So thank you so much. And hope to see you out in the world now.
Just pray for my soul, because I moved 6 times, and pray for me because I need a car. Okay, all the good vibes, all the well wishes, all of it my way. I'm getting a car, and then I'll be able to drive back to Ripley from where I live in the north. It's an hour. I'll be there though if I can. All right.
Beautiful.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. What a way to end with a very deep and vulnerable conversation. Thank you all for joining. Before we depart, I would like to remind you that we do exist in the real world and we do have events going on right now. So next Wednesday, we will have a spoken word. That's our Talking Blue. Links are in the description. So come along, hang out with us, vibe out. We will also be having a amazing day party on the 27th, which is next Saturday, which will be going from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. There's going to be live art. There's going to be 3 DJs that hold it down like you won't believe. You won't believe. You'll be like, what is this? Am I in the real world or am I tripping on DMT? This is amazing. So definitely check those events out. We also have a tip jar. So if you enjoyed what you were seeing here, we would appreciate any kind of support. You are already sending us vibes, and if that's all you can provide, we appreciate that. But if you have a little something more to help our community grow, a monetary donation would be much appreciated. The links are in the description. But thank you all for joining us for this wondrous event of self-expression. We're hoping to translate this into the real world. So maybe the next time The Floor Is Yours appears in your reality, it may actually be in the physical form, which will be amazing. Once again, thank you for joining us. Vibe Union for life. We love you all. Have a beautiful night and adios.